Hello and welcome to the Presero training series. In this lesson, we will be covering the approval plans for the B2B storefronts. We will begin by logging into the Presero admin with the username and the password. Once logged in, go to the sites, choose one of your B2B site, scroll down and you will see an option of approval plan. Orders placed by users can be made subject to approval by a supervisor, purchasing agent, etc. Only one plan can apply to any given order. This is either the default plan for the site or the site level, or a plan assigned to the user at the user level. Please check out the webinar recording in order to set up the custom approval plan for your Presero storefront. All Presero plans can take the advantage of the default approval process, in which order approvals are determined as a per user basis. The basic plan is set up for the most common situation. You can create an approver site groups. Once the site group is created, you can go to the site users, edit a site user, scroll down where you see the additional information, and there is a section known as user orders approved by. If this field is blank for a particular user, the user's order will not require approval. If a site group is selected in this field, then this user's order will always require approval. Any order coming from that individual will trigger an approval, and the approve order request email will be triggered to the member of the site group approvers. Conversely, any order coming from a user who does not have an approval site group does not require approval and is allowed to proceed. For example, if Pat requires approval and Jane is allowed to approve orders from Pat, then make Jane a member of site group called approvers and set Pat's approval site group to approvers. Naturally, the user should not be a member of their own approval site group. Most approval plan can be satisfied by adding rules to the basic plan instead of creating a separate plan. Let's take a look on custom approval plans. An approval plan has two things to decide: which orders need approval and then who is allowed to approve them. This advanced approval workflow allows you to set up any number of approval workflow with specific triggers for requiring approval of an order. The approval requirement may be based on a specific product, attribute of a product, a dollar amount. If you have multi-level approval workflow setup, you may select the approval plan for this user must go through for orders that requires an approval process. Each user can only have one approval process their account will follow. When you look for the approval plan, there are two things to consider while creating the rules. One is the rule level and the rule type. The custom approval plans can have many levels of approval, each with their own trigger and approval site groups. For example, an order approved by the first level of approval can subsequently trigger an approval requirement for a second site group of approvers, and so on. The number of approvals levels is unlimited. Let's take a look on creating a new approval plan. Click the Add New button. Give the approval plan a name and save. Then you will need to create the rules for the plan. I'm going to take the example for my existing approval plan. Once you have given the name to the approval plan, click on Add New to create a new rule. Enter the approval plan rule level. Multiple rules may be defined at the same level, but only the first rule to match will be used. What order criteria will trigger this rule? Select the rule type. The choices are user account requires approval, item dollar amount threshold, order total amount threshold, that is, will add the total of all the item along with the shipping and tax if applicable, product attribute, shipping method, product, category, and user is a member of site group. Please note, when setting the text to match criteria for these rules type like for product or for category, you can replace the hash with a star in the text to match area if your product category or attribute name contain a hash sign. You do not need to change the product category or attribute name. Who will approve the orders that match this rule? Check the box ahead of the option. Choices are the boss of the user placing the order, user with the approval permission set to same site, user with the approval permission set to same location. The site group assigned to approve the user's order, this will define at the user level which site group is responsible for approving the orders. And then the last option is the site group. What can the approver do? Allow approver to approve the order only. That means he cannot make any changes. Or if you give approve and edit order, then he can also edit, modify, and approve the order. Multi-level approvals. You may want to have multi-levels of approval. After an order gets one approval, it is sent to a higher level person for another one. To do this, you set up more than one rule and distinguish each by giving them a number level. With level 1 acted on the first, after an order that triggers a level 1 rule is approved, level 2 rules will be checked next, and so on. Remember, the first rule that matches the order at any given level will trigger the approval. At that point, no other rules at that level will be considered. Once approved, the next higher level rules will be checked separately in the same way, as shown in this diagram. The rules do not have to be the same type. For example, after the order gets regular approval, it can be sent for extra approval only if it is more than a certain dollar amount. Now that depends on the rule type. Making a custom approval the site default. When setting up a custom approval plan, each user account does not need to have the custom approval selected for it to apply to the orders. Instead, make the plan for default approval plan under the site settings. You can go to the settings, general tab, scroll down where you see the approval information, and from here there is an option on default approval plan. From here you can select the custom approval plan that you have created. When an order requires approval, emails will be sent to the people eligible to approve it. These emails have a link which will take them to a special page in the storefront that lets them approve or deny the order. Once you open this link, either you can approve it or deny it. Please note, once an approval plan or rule has been used in an order, it can no longer be deleted. This is because it would make prior approvals invalid and cause errors somewhere elsewhere in the system. The best option why you no longer wish to use an approval plan rule that cannot be deleted are to either repurpose it for a different approval rule or edit to something that will not be triggered by any orders in the system. Which is why it is not possible to delete an approval plan or the rules. This was all about the approval plan. Thank you for watching this video.